All right, Jay had an epiphany, man. What
I had
was
a
the
straight
epiphany, bro?
Look, we were talking in the car on the way here, and my wife is changing gears, meaning she's switching subjects at the rapid fire speed of light.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here like, you got ADD.
Oh, you diagnosed her right
She
there?
said
Like you
in the
diagnosed
car?
your wife in
Oh.
the car?
You didn't know that? No! I got diagnosed when I was a kid.
Yo! Whoa!
We 21 years in, and you just now telling.
Wait a
She's
minute.
like, well, I
Wait,
thought you
Jay.
knew.
Wait, Jay. That's kind of deep. You telling me you just found out your wife was diagnosed as a child
As
with
a
ADHD,
child.
and she never told you?
But I feel so much better. I told her, I said, I feel great.
That was the epiphany.
Right. It's like, ooh, I understand now.
It makes
Wow.
sense.
It makes so much sense. I've been fighting a losing battle all along. I ain't got to fight no more. I understand.
Wow.
When she does it, she does it.
You didn't know?
You didn't know? That was crazy, man.
No, he gets mad because he be talking and I cut him off.
Cut me off.
I cut him off because my thought comes in.
Right. Boom.
And my thought comes in.
She got to get it out.
You gotta get it right there and
Yeah,
now.
I gotta get it out.
Guess what?
You know.
I'm no longer irritated.
Well,
So
he's
now
always
you
irritated.
understand what's happening.
It is what it is.
Nah, that's a real thing.
I told somebody, it was a person who was, I think they were newly married. I think they were married for like 2 years. And I told them, I said, you know, you think you know your partner now. Oh, you've got a lifetime of learning.
Oh,
You're
man.
going
You
to
do.
discover so many more things along this journey.
It is coming.
Please believe it.
It's
It is
always
coming.
unraveling.
That's exciting because you always got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like if you can do this and roll with the punches, man, your life will never be boring. It's never a boring day with this one right here.
Hey, but that's the thing, though. You gotta
only not-
learn. You gotta learn how to deal with the unraveling,
That's
though,
right.
because that
That
unraveling can
part.
be serious shit.
No, wait a minute.
No, man.
Why you look at her like
Look
that?
at her like what?
Right.
I'm
Talk
just
to
saying,
us.
man.
What's
Talk
up,
about
baby?
I agree.
She knows she unraveled a few
I
times.
unraveled a few times. So, hey, it is what it is.
But that being able to roll though, well, you ride or die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
That's true.
That means she ain't gotta hide nothing.
Right.
Yes, sir.
She's safe.
She's safe. She knows she's safe with you.
Right.
Amy knows she's safe. Well, do you think you're safe with me?
Sometimes I do.
You get on this show. And
House,
you
bro.
just really,
Yo, Jay set it up so nice. He said, "You safe, right?"
oh my God.
Wow.
You safe
Here,
here,
right?
right?
He gonna say,
Sometimes-
we get on this
Listen,
show
Amy, no,
and
she's
you
like, wait a minute.
change.
Hold on. Let
You safe,
me ask her. She a trip, man.
I'm not a trip. I'm not a trip. You a trip.
So should your marriage be
It's the
a
opposite.
100% safe space for your spouse?
Sometimes.
What does that mean? Sometimes,
Well,
Amy?
yeah,
How?
please explain.
Sometimes it should be. Sometimes don't feel so safe. For me,
Yeah.
I'm different,
Okay, well,
y'all.
let her
I'm
talk.
different.
That's she.
Define
You
safe.
upset because I'm telling you.
No.
You
Again,
you upset because I said sometimes I was just playing.
I just
joke.
I just told you I'm free.
So Ants did say something. He said define safe.
Define
What is safe? So when we say safe
be
space,
yourself. Be true.
So safe for me
Let
is like
everybody know
I could
I
be.
can
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Hey, cut it
I'm
out.
playing, baby. Go ahead.
It is shaky today.
I'll play.
Today is real shaky.
Okay, so safe space.
Yeah.
What does a safe space look like in a marriage for you,
For
Amy?
me, it's so I can be authentic. I can be my authentic self with no apologies. And sometimes I'm a bit much, so I understand Jason gets irritated with my authentic self sometimes.
Right.
So
But
sometimes
does
it's safe
irritation,
and sometimes it's not.
but hold on.
Sometimes I got to tone it down.
Does irritation,
That's
does irritation
interesting.
ever make you feel like
That's a good
it's
point.
not safe?
Again, I'm not looking at safe as a way of like,
Your life's in danger.
like my life is
I'm
in
talking about
danger.
even us not being together. Like
What do
when
you
I say
mean?
safe space, I'm like, you know what? You can tell me anything. You know, I'm rock solid. I'm not going anywhere. I'm never going anywhere. I'm ride or die with you for the rest of my life, the rest of your life. That's safe space for me. I know without a shadow of a doubt, in my mind, in my heart, I know this right here. we rock it till the wheels fall off.
So Jay,
Right.
you
Right.
saying safe space to
I-
you
yeah.
is leaving or not?
Right.
Right.
Like,
It's like
that's like a deep dive.
if
of safe
if her
space.
leg was to get cut off tomorrow, I'm still here.
Right.
If something was to happen to her physically, I'm still here.
It's secure.
This is the love of my life.
Right.
I'm not leaving her for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
I think when I think about safe space, I'm thinking more of levels of communication, meaning my wife is able to communicate with me freely as she needs at that moment. So it's not
Right.
necessarily about you can tell me anything and I'm not going to leave you. It's more like, why are you hurting? What hurt you? Did I hurt you?
And
Let's talk about it.
Can I tell you those things?
And that's a learned behavior. That's not something that you just come into automatic, like, okay, well, we were in love before we got married, now we're married. It's there. Because I think the key thing is like what Moke said, unraveling. Sometimes we unravel at the same time. Sometimes we unravel we not synced up with the unraveling. So it's like I could be super good, Constance could be unraveling, and I now have to, adjust to to the level of her unraveling.
And then
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like I think even when Amy's point is that safe for me? Do I feel safe enough to unravel, or do I
Wow.
really have to
Wow.
hold it? You know what I mean? Or be like, I can't say that, or I don't want to tell him that, or I don't want. You know what I mean?
And that's
Or-
what goes back to what I was saying about that's what I mean by her being comfortable. There's nothing in
You talking for me? Talk for you.
So
I don't say like I want you to talk for you and let me talk for me. You know what I'm saying? So when you say safe space for her, safe space for you.
Can I finish making?
Oh,
my point?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's another ADD moment.
hey, we in the building, y'all.
We didn't need
FBC. Let's get it. No, go. That's good though. So let's hear from
So-
hear from your perspective, Jay.
My perspective is, and this is what I set up for her, whether she walks in it or not. I have set up a space where she knows, not by what I tell her, by what I show her every single day. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, you're good with me. You can tell me whatever it is you want to tell me. Now, doesn't mean that I'm not going to have a rebuttal or response, but you do know that whatever it is that you tell me, I'm walking with you in it. You're safe. You don't have to worry about me abandoning you, leaving you, or just getting so frustrated where I can't handle it. What you got for me? Drop it on me. I got you. That's and my expectation is that she's the same for me. So now, and this is what kills me about this woman right here today. I've heard her tell people this in one of those conversations when I was upstairs and I can hear everything. I've heard her tell people, Jason allows me to be me. I'm good. So now she gets here and acts as if she doesn't know what I'm talking about.
No, you missing the point.
Okay,
All right.
well, help me.
You keep-
guide me, please.
Okay, quit talking for me. Talk for yourself. So what do I make you feel safe? You should be saying, yes, Amy makes me feel safe because this. You keep saying this woman here, You don't need to talk about me.
I'm talking about
I'm
what
a good
I do.
communicator. I can say what
I'm not saying that. Listen,
No, what I'm
you
saying
have a
is-
free
but you
space
miss-
to say whatever you want.
I think you missing.
I'm not missing
it.
anything.
Okay.
You're missing it.
Okay.
All
You
right,
can
so
speak
so
for
let's
you.
do this. So let's do this because this is
I'm
good.
not
This
talking
is good.
because I don't talk for you. I don't say
I don't need you to
Jason
talk.
feels safe. Right, that's
sorry.
what I'm saying, and I don't need you to talk for me.
All
Either.
right, so here we go.
what
then.
I'm
So
saying
all right,
is
so
for
hey.
you.
So let's
you
do this.
are.
Coleman's. So this is great. So for right now, we heard from Jay. Let's hear from Amy.
Okay, so do you want me to talk for him?
No. You want to
No,
talk
we
on your
want
behalf.
to talk on your
Okay.
own behalf.
Yes. So I am saying this. I am saying that Jason makes me feel safe. I don't feel uncomfortable. I can be all of me, and I'm a lot. I'm a lot to some people, and to some people, So this is what I would say. Some people love me, and some people can't stand me, and I'm good either way, right? And he allows me to be me, right? So I ain't always in a good mood. I ain't always chipper. I ain't gonna be. It's a lot. It's a lot dealing with me, and he deals with me very well. However, for me, because I know I'm a lot, sometimes I'm not gonna be a lot all the time.
Right.
I do have to, kind of bring it down.
Yeah.
So I could give him space to be whatever he wants to be that day. You know what I mean? So Jason is rarely in a bad mood. He rarely complains. Like he never complains. He never is in a bad mood. So when he does complain, and because I do have ADD, I have to be very cognitive to not
chump off what he's going through.
Yeah, like chump him off because he never has a problem. So it's not so. When he does, I have to really allow him space. And I think sometimes he don't realize that I am trying to be that because my mind wanders everywhere. So I hyper focus on everything. That's why everything irritates me because I do.
That makes sense.
That's why everything irritates me because I'm hyper focusing on everything and then my mind races, right? So he could be talking sometimes and he's like, I told you that. And he really did tell me that. But I was hyper focused on the
Something
kids.
else.
The kids didn't clean the kitchen.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And so because I'm hyper focusing on the kids and when he's talking sometimes, I don't quite hear everything he's saying. So now that I know that I do that and it irritates him, I try to be very cognitive to allow him the space to get to be a lot.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't. And I thank you for that. And you're a wonderful husband. And I never said, and I was just playing. It was just, maybe I came off serious.
At this point,
so I'm sorry.
I'm steaming.
Oh gosh. I get it.
Yo, that's a real thing. Yo, hey, Jay said, I've never heard it put that way. At this point, I'm steaming.
Whoever's
No, that's a
editing
real
this
thing,
video,
man.
put steam over his head.
I want lots of steam.
So why are you steaming?
It's all good, man. Listen.
What are you steaming about? Because I asked you, because I wanted you to talk about like you and do I give you a safe space? And if I do, what does that feel like with
Yeah,
you?
you definitely said that he doesn't make you feel safe all the time.
Right.
That's why he's steaming.
But I was playing. That was a joke. That was my joke.
Don't joke with me like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially in front of listeners and viewers because they already think that I'm just like
Who think that?
The one people waddling right.
Let me say
The
something.
waddling comment when you were pregnant, like I got harped on about that.
Excuse me.
Like people already think that like we don't really like each other.
Well,
So
okay.
please stop putting the
21 years does it say?
Right.
You know how many
Turn
people,
off the comments.
Right.
Like we're reading
you know
them.
how many
Nah,
people
for
been
real.
married
I
for a
don't
long
read
time
never
and don't
read
like
the
each other?
comments. Well, excuse me.
Like,
That's
for
true.
real?
That's true.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
true.
never read the comments. So just stay out of the comments, and then we can just be who we want to be.
But that's
whenever
we've
we
never
want to
been
be.
that. We've never.
I
been
was
that.
just playing.
But you don't
and
play
then-
like that.
I do play like that all the time.
Anybody else? Because she knows she don't play like that.
Okay.
We don't even.
What was-
Amy's not
what-
even a jokey person.
So I think, as these guys were kind of going back and forth, it kind of brought up a thought of when spouses share. And Jay kind of mentioned, like, you oversharing right now on this platform. So is it a place where we draw the line where spouses share? You know what I'm saying?
What's
Like,
too much information?
what's too much information that you putting out in a quote unquote safe space? Say the girls are together.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I think for me, especially in the earlier years of our marriage, that was like a big thing because I was dealing with so many toxic traits. So when I think oversharing, anything that could make me look less than glamorous in the eyes of other people, if that makes sense. So when I think we would be around other people and I would hear them talking about their significant other. The conversation with me and Constance on the way home is, nigga, I hope you don't talk about me like that when I ain't around. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, bro, I don't want you hanging around them no more. And if you are, I won't ever be around them because at the time, it was more of an insecurity for me because I knew I had so much going on. As a matter of fact, what made me fix it was I don't want to give her anything to talk about to that level. So it started off for the wrong reason. It didn't start off because, I'm just a good guy and I'm just trying to make her happy. It started off, I'm trying to keep my face right.
And for me, that was a very dark place.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a dark place because here I am, I'm young. We got married dumb young. So for me to be walking through marriage for the first time, experiencing all of these firsts and what I imagined marriage to be, initially it wasn't, but I could not talk about it for fear that I'm dishonoring my husband. That was a lonely place. You know what I'm saying? And I think in our space now, I'm so grateful that we're so far away from that, because that is the motive of our transparency. Because I do realize there are so many other women and men who are going through, and it's like, let me just go ahead and let you know I'm willing to be transparent.
Right.
Because you didn't have, even when I was going through, there weren't many stories of people that I could even think of in my mind, like, who else could be going through this?
They were keeping it to themselves as well.
Exactly.
That
So
was like the thing.
The thing.
It's like, no, we
Everybody
don't
kept
talk
it
about
under
it.
wraps.
Yeah.
Right.
Stays in the house.
That's
passed down
old
from
school.
the boomers.
Yeah.
Alluding back to our earlier episode,
Right.
but it's like, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah, but
everybody was on that.
that's what motivates me now to be so transparent, to be so open, which is why I appreciate our conversations, because our conversations where we can keep it 100 and no husbands, you may not always feel like you're in the best light, but there's somebody else that can relate to, you know what I'm saying, the fault finding that we're finding. But listen, I love you. You're amazing. There was just a point in time where it just wasn't that cool. You know what I mean? And so just being confident enough and secure enough to be able to expose that, I think is really a strength. You know what I'm saying? It's really a strength to say, I'm not the best all the time.
And I believe Dr. Hill, our therapist, played a big part in us being able to have that voice. In business, you're taught not to vent down, but to vent horizontally, somebody equal on your leadership level or up. Because if you vent down, that's where the whole system begins to get out of whack.
Convoluted.
You feel? There you go. So I would talk to folks like my dad. I wouldn't talk. You got to know your audience.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So I know with my dad, he's not going to be biased just because I'm his son. My mom is going to be biased because I'm her son. And it's like, oh, well, so what you doing? I mean, what you talking about doing? She's going to tell me the truth. She gonna say, if I'm wrong,
Come get your stuff.
if I'm wrong, she's going to be like, you dead wrong. But if I'm not wrong and I'm right, I'm really right with her.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And it's going to be that level. So it's like,
So right to
knowing
a
that-
detriment.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like knowing that, and knowing I love my wife, and knowing this is something we're going through, not something that we're trying to.
It's not a
set
stopping
up
point.
residence.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'm not going to share that with my mom because, she won't let it go like I would.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
definitely
good.
understand.
then the highs are turned into, oh, hey, guys, how you doing?
Right, real fake, yeah.
What you said, Larry?
You know what I'm saying? You better watch
You
how
ain't
you
even
talk
supposed to
about
know that.
Right.
it turned into, oh, this what you cooked today? Oh, okay. You know what
Because
I'm
he
saying?
said
So-
you wasn't cooking.
And mom, please don't take that personal.
It's not personal.
But it's just
But it's not a knock. She just loves her son.
Right.
But, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I think all our mothers
Yeah.
would do that for us. I
Yeah.
think,
Especially
you
for the
say, mom most definitely gonna tell me the truth.
Facts.
But if I'm in the right, or she feels like I'm in the right,
yeah.
she ride with me till the wheels fall off.
Talking to a woman like your mom about a woman that you left her for to
Oh,
know.
Lord.
Oh, she's going to
Uh-oh.
automatically be like, yeah, I tried to tell you that before you got started, but you weren't listening to me.
What now?
So it comes from a pure place. It does. But, as an adult, as someone that has, the Bible says, leave to cleave.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like, I've cleaved. I've
Yeah.
left. you to cleave here, and now I'm building here. We got 4 beautiful children and different things like that. But getting back on topic, it's like, you know, it was hard with our circle being mainly predominantly church folks. It was hard hearing her, or not, I never heard her, but in my mind, because of the guilt and shame that I dealt with, you dig? I would, it would be like, you ever seen somebody who always got like conspiracy theories?
Oh yeah.
So that was me.
Oh,
Paranoid.
for sure.
That
You know what
For
I'm saying?
sure.
It's called a
you,
guilty
you,
conscience.
you was talking to, no, babe, I wasn't. Oh, yes, you was.
Right.
Yeah, I won't be going to their house anymore.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
oh,
That's
man.
Jeez.
Right.
That's
It
real.
was serious.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
real.
You got to realize.
So you be doing that? I'm like, oh no.
You got to realize the type of people that was my inner circle back then were criminals. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
were criminals outside of Jay. You and Amy, you know what I'm saying?
And at that time we were
Doing their own
trying
thing.
to figure it out ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like
it was
I can't
mainly
be there for you,
criminals.
'cause I'm trying to
work it out,
I'm trying to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
So Jay would come through when he needed to, and
Absolutely.
I vice versa for him.
Right.
Yeah.
But with, you know, the majority of it was like, okay, well, I got Cole.
Mm-hmm.
He was there, and we was doing the thing together.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Jamel.
Right.
You know, he was there, and we were doing the things together.
Yeah.
And then Uncle T,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who I met in jail,
In jail.
and then came out, and he stayed with us.
Lived with us.
Yeah, you know,
Which is why when you guys came around,
it was a refreshing.
Mm.
it was such a breath of fresh air
Wow.
because when the conversation started, when you and Anthony clicked, I'm
Yeah.
like, bet, because that's always been a concern of mine.
In our
Like,
home.
who can
Yeah.
can he trust
Yeah.
to lay his stuff before outside of Jay? Like,
Right.
Jay was trying to figure it out. So I'm like, oh Lord, I'm stuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless I'm
Wow.
gonna call his parents. Like,
And that's what she would do. She would start
I would.
snitching on me.
I ain't have no
And-
choice
And
though.
they knew I was crazy, so they wouldn't let me know. But
they
I
knew.
could. But I was very intelligent, so it's like context clues would start speaking extremely loud, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, you know,
You have a conversation.
yeah, you know, I remember me and Tevi was going through such and such. And we was going through this. I'm like,
What is that? Where is this coming from?
You just automatically wanted to share
why
a
are you
story.
sharing this stuff? I'm like, oh, okay, your mom did. Okay, cool. Constance been snitching, and I remember coming home like, you call my parents? She was like, what? And Constance don't lie.
Right.
So when she tries to, it's like obvious. It's as obvious as these red chairs. And I'm like, nigga, you lying.
Oh.
And you know, it ended up coming out years later.
Yeah,
but
to the point,
Right.
I think that's why I think it was such a breath of fresh air when I came around because I felt like, okay, now that he's okay with B,
right.
Mm-hmm.
then that means it's okay for me to share here because they're having the same type of conversation.
Yeah.
So he's okay here. But
When
I mean,
B came along, I was starting the process of settling down.
you were.
Mhm.
You were. But we still hadn't established who was the trustworthy space.
Well, I
You
don't
know
trust
what I'm
nobody.
saying? Obviously. Again, you know what I'm saying? We didn't establish that. So when it comes to, I ask you men, when it comes to your wife discussing you, even if she's not discussing you in a way that you hear or know, like what's okay for you? Like what's an okay level of communication for your
I think
wife to have?
Something concerning
So
you.
the thing is, you know, in our relationship,
Right.
I think the only place I've really drawn a line, especially because of where we came from and the things that we've been through, was one thing you don't share outside of this house is my finances.
Yeah.
I've always been very, don't put my money out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, coming from where we came from, we started from the bottom like everybody in here.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you start from the bottom, there's a certain sensitivity
Yeah.
when it comes to that. So I don't need you talking to your so and so, or you're so and so, or you're so and so about, Brian had to do this to make
Right.
this happen, or Brian had to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I think I just had an ultra sensitivity about finances in my relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where I drew the line. Like, yo, don't talk about my money nowhere unless my money all the way right.
Right.
gosh.
You can
Now
brag
you
all
can talk
you
about
want.
this.
you can
Now
brag
we're
about
not
it.
talking. We're right.
So you're free to brag on me.
Let's not talk about me while I'm trying to
Talk
get
about
it
how
out
I'm
there.
broke.
If I gotta get it out the mud,
That makes sense.
But no, for
Yeah.
me, that's for me. I don't really have a boundary when it comes to that because one, I understand her emotionally. Amy is the type of person that if she does not get it out, she's going to implode, and I don't ever want to see her like that. So if you need to talk about me like a dog, you do that because at the end of the day, we solid, and I know she loved me. And I know she just need to say what she need to say to get it out and be done with it. Because eventually when she gets it out, it's better for us. I appreciate her getting it out. Because now she's level-headed again. She's ready to receive and talk. So if it was something that we were beefing about by her getting another opinion or a listening ear or just even being able to hear herself out loud.
Right.
Now when she comes back to me, the perspective is different.
Yeah, that's important. I
Yeah.
think like in relationships, period, like there has to be enough safety in order for each of us to vent. You know what I mean? Outside of each other.
Yeah.
Like
That part.
for sure. You know what I mean? So at least that when you, of course, you want to vent, to people that
That has your best interest
that you
at heart.
trust, not just randoms.
right. You don't want them to just be like, "Yup, he suck." He,
Right.
I heard BB out here.
but like,
Yep, I heard
In
it
my
too.
mind, everybody got the propensity to be that. And I'm like, nah, this is.
I'm gonna keep it aside.
but I think sometimes that's probably the reason why most like couples or relationships why they don't do that. Just because you aren't sure sometimes of is this a safe space? Seems like it is, but maybe it's not. You know what I mean? Or maybe you tell somebody something in confidence and then they treat him different when you come around. Kind of like you mentioned with your like parents, for instance. So it's like that's part of the reasons why you like, dang, I probably shouldn't say this. I probably, shouldn't say that, but I really need to say it.
Gotta get it on my chest.
I really need to talk to somebody
just
about
say
it.
it out.
Just to even see, is this normal? Have you dealt with this? Is this okay? That type of thing. Am I crazy? Is it me? Is it my fault?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that type of thing, especially like for him in our relationship, he always feels like, I flip everything. Like we talked about this in another episode. He literally feels like I flip every
called you the
situation.
victim.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
no,
Sorry,
he
sorry,
does.
sorry.
Like he really does feel like that, which a lot of times make it seem like he does nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Because he will point to me and flip, and then he thinks that I'm doing the same thing.
Without looking
Wait.
at what he does.
She just
Right.
flipped it right there.
I just said it's a reciprocal thing. I think that
so
we do.
Brian, why do you do that?
I caught it. No, I caught it.
You saw the flip?
I caught it.
Did you see the
No.
flip?
It was
It was intricate.
But it was
Brian,
such a detailed
Brian, why do you
flip.
do that? Why do you?
Why
do
do
that?
I?
What are you looking at me like?
Be more specific. Why do I do what?
Well, why do you blame it on her, but you negate to address the issues you have that contribute to her outburst?
Okay. Well, one thing about me, and I'm not saying it just to say it. Why are you? I'm sorry, Anthony. Why are you looking that way?
Because I watched all of the last show and I told you last night, I'm bringing hell with me.
That joker said,
Hey man, you
me
went.
and Amy going back and
you
forth. You
went-
like, no, let him get it out. Let him get it out.
Oh, you turn over on me right there, dog.
Happening.
Hey, the last show I watched, I was like,
Yeah, it was because it was
Jason and Brian.
it was all you,
I'm
dog.
like, these are my dogs.
Yeah, but you just
The
said-
girls coming for each other. They helping each other out. And my dog is
Listen,
over
bro.
here like this nigga Ant.
Because you've been doing it for
because
years.
the thing is, Ant, sometimes your perspectives could be kind of swayed in the way of your advantage when it comes to certain things that are said. That's all.
Got you. So the question was, when you blame her,
Yeah,
for
let's
things,
talk about the
and
swaying.
you blame her for being, how do you say?
She's a
the
victim. Yeah, she plays
call
the
her the
victim.
victim.
She plays the victim.
But every effect is as a direct result, as you know, because you named it, of a cause. So
I like
the
that.
cause, what do you do to address why she's doing it? Does it just
so-
come out of nowhere?
so here's the thing.
Yes, answer that. I'd like to know.
Is she just like the victim, just out of nowhere?
I'd like to
Or
know
Well,
the answer to that.
is there something that you contribute to it to
I think
bring out that type
here's
of
the thing.
response?
Here's the
I would
thing.
love to know
Here's
that.
the thing. No, here's the thing. It's a real thing. It's like I
thinking.
feel like in our relationship,
Yes.
she can do no wrong because she always takes that stance of being the person who can do no wrong. So for me, and I know I'm saying I'm only speaking from my perspective. I'm not even saying my perspective is fact.
Okay,
I'm
Cool.
speaking only from
I'll take that.
where I am a lot of
Alright.
times. Babe,
I'll take that.
you what?
Go ahead.
For the first time. You'll take it.
Well,
but-
that made sense.
It is his perspective.
It's my perspective, so
That
it's
makes
nothing
sense.
else other
Everybody
than my
has their-
perspective.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
In this setting,
Wait, what?
you're saying that it's your perspective, and you're communicating very clearly right now, saying that it's your perspective.
Okay.
I can understand that.
Okay, so we have clarity now when it comes to that.
We have clarity in the fact that how your perspective is received, I guess, from your
In this
your point
moment,
of view.
In this moment.
On
I'm clear on
Yeah.
on,
And-
on
and-
those words.
And that's why I'm grateful for this platform, because this platform gives us voice to navigate those places where we struggle.
Yeah.
So
I think the question was,
Why do you do that?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
that was the question. I don't think you've
okay,
adequately
so maybe
answered
I don't know if the question
the very
was clear.
specific.
I don't know if the question was
I think
clear.
it was very clear. Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
Okay. You accused her of being a victim.
Not being a victim, but
He
playing
said,
the
he
victim.
said I play the
She
victim,
plays the victim.
all the time.
A lot.
I'll restate.
That's
I'll restate. You accused her of playing the victim all the time.
he says I play the victim
And
all
then,
the
if
time.
all the
I
time.
remember the show correctly, she's doing it now. Okay. So my question is, do you feel like that there are things that you do that contribute to it? Because, and I'm just speaking from my lens is only from my marriage. So I know that some of the responses that came out. Let me finish.
No. Here's the thing.
I know that some of the responses that came out from my wife was as a direct result of things that I imputed on her.
Yeah.
So when it comes to you, I'm saying, were there things that you feel like that you could have possibly imputed onto her, which makes her go or makes her come off as a victim, and it's not really being a victim, it's me responding to what you're doing to me?
He's saying he's saying cause and reaction.
So here's the thing. And now I understand your
And
question.
That's how
Okay.
I try to explain myself
So
most of the time.
so again,
Right.
we agree that this platform gives voice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For us to navigate through what we need to navigate.
Good question.
Right.
So when it comes to that, because I'm accountable for my actions,
Yes.
I know I'm a lot.
Very good.
Like I know I'm a lot.
Okay.
I'm the type of person that if you don't, like Amy said, you either gonna love me or you not.
Right.
I'm sorry, dog. It's a hand battle going on. I gotta catch.
Nah, you good. Keep going. Remember, we're rolling. We're paying attention.
What am I?
Are y'all
First of all,
No, it's good. They good.
I'm trying to get her to see that her and Brian are the same.
No, but we said that the last show.
Y'all
I
have a
said
lot of
no. I said I relate to Amy in a lot of ways
lot.
because we do rock the same in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a lot, so I do take accountability for being a lot. But the thing is,
Do you take accountability in those moments, or are you taking accountability now? In
See, here's
this
the thing,
moment?
As far as her being
but here's the
victim
thing, though.
all
Here's
the
the
time.
thing, though. Here's the
Right.
thing, though. Like, it's one thing to, we rocking and things happen.
Right.
My wife, anytime. Man, I love you.
This
Being
I love
smooth, but I
What
think
we
what's going
talking
to have to
about?
happen is Corinne
Yeah,
is
Corinne,
going
could
to
you
have to
expound on?
give us
So
the
they
example.
digging. So they digging.
No, we're not digging. You're diverting.
digging.
You have yet to answer a very simple question.
I said I take accountability for being a lot.
Hey, man.
What does that have to do with?
What does it have to do with me always playing the victim? That's the thing.
Because I take accountability for being a lot, it gives you the alleyway of escape by us agreeing that I'm a lot.
No, Brian, you're not making sense.
Yeah,
that
I don't
wasn't
understand.
clear.
Y'all will catch it when y'all listen
No,
back.
you're
What
not
the
making
heck are you
sense.
talking about?
Y'all will catch it when y'all play it
I
back.
get him. I get it. I ain't gonna lie.
Explain.
No, I get what Brian's saying.
Explain. Explain.
It was clear. It was clear.
It was very clear.
That was not clear.
Because I'm so much, it's easy for you to escape through the cracks of me being.
So you're
So
saying
that makes me a victim.
So
So I get to play the victim because of that.
I think we're taking the word victim
He's thinking.
and sinking it deeper than it needs to sink.
So let's define victim.
What's
So-
another word for? What's
so
the
I
other
think
word you need to use?
I'm gonna say circumstance flipper. You're
I
a
like
circumstance flipper.
Okay, yeah, I can see
like
that. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
Does everybody understand that?
We understand circumstance flipper.
She's a circumstance flipper. So maybe victim is too much. I'm not going to say she has a victim mentality, but she's genius and brilliant enough to flip circumstances in her
favor.
favor.
Brian Lane. Brian Christopher Lane.
Come on, baby, say my name. Destiny Child, me.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut
I
from here on out.
cannot
instigating. Instigating.
For one,
Listen,
I am
we listen.
not-
I'm listening, baby.
most of the time when I have a reaction is based on how you communicate.
I know this. Yes, we know. We know
So,
this
How is it that I flip circumstances
because
when most of the time
So, okay,
I'm
so
responding
let's speak,
off of
let's
something
speak more specifically.
you said that was either out of line, your
Out
tone
of
was
line.
jacked up.
You see,
Your-
out of line, tone jacked up.
Put your
Like,
hand down.
No, I'm
You
just
see what I'm
agreeing
saying?
I'm
with my
saying
sister.
those are I
you do the same
respond to
thing.
I could be chilling.
You stay out.
I'm
I
starting
could
to see
be
some
having
similarities.
the best day. I could be in the best mood. I could be like, all is well today. He will say something that's totally off the wall to me. And I'll be like,
I keep it interesting.
what? You know what I'm saying?
So
That's not even
basically-
what I said.
so-
He'll be like, relax, babe, calm down.
So what's wild though?
And then I flip because
But you know
that's
what's
the
so
part. I don't
wild,
like
though?
that crap.
But you know
I
what's so
don't-
wild?
Don't freaking tell me to calm
Don't
down when
tell
I'm
me to relax.
chilling.
That's
Right.
gaslighting.
Quit yelling into the mic like that.
Sorry,
Story.
but I be getting amped.
But hold on. But what's funny is,
Because he'll say something
okay,
crazy.
see what she doing? See what she
And then
doing?
I'll be like, what? What are you?
Interrupting her.
I'm like,
Oh my
that's
God.
not even what I said. Like, what? All I said was that he'd be like, relax, calm down.
So
He likes
Then
to
I
keep it
here's the
flip.
thing.
You
Here's the
flip.
thing.
Period.
What's funny is, we have bookends happening right now. The exact same thing that just went crazy in the Coleman's
You're
marriage
such a, you know what? Whatever.
just took such a serious effect.
The other day
Oh,
when
it's so
Ant and
obvious.
Constance were over here,
It's sometimes it's
there
toxic.
was an encounter that happened that Constance was witness of. I was able to point to her and say, "Did you hear that?"
What I say?
And she was like, "Yes, I did."
Okay.
Was I here?
It's a fact that I'm a lot. We know. We
Then
know
don't
this.
tell me I'm a circumstance flipper. Then don't.
Okay, no.
Don't,
So let me
don't
bring-
put that on me.
let me bring clarity.
Or you always this and you always that. When you know that
She's-
you're a lot. So sometimes you gotta think like, dang, what did I say? Did I say, okay, hold on, let me see, let me process. Did I say, hold on? But you don't do that. You just go. Right?
She's saying you don't know how to come off the gas.
You
You just keep accelerating.
So here's the thing.
then we gotta take a break. We
You see how?
gotta
Okay, so hold on. Y'all see how she not letting me talk?
depress. We gotta reset. Then
This is my life.
Gotta be
You
like,
gotta let her get it out. B.
this fool.
This is the
Let
venting.
her finish.
This is the venting. B.
My life, and I'm just dang okay.
Yep.
Somehow this became my fault. All right,
Wow.
okay. I asked a simple question,
Man,
and
there's a
it
lot of
went to the
familiarity
left.
there.
All right.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's where we are.
So obviously, we see this as a sore spot for her.
This is we've been doing
Wrong
this foundation
All I'm saying is
of our marriage.
Bring it home.
The lane.
there
Bring it
is
back.
no home here.
Here it is.
So
Okay.
You gotta find it.
there is no home. There's only adventure.
No.
There's only.
But that's what I get, though. I get that he keeps it interesting. It's going to be. I'm telling you, I know from experience.
Come on, you're
She
preaching,
keeps
Jay.
it very interesting. I get it. Corinne, I get it. I get it.
Wow,
I get it, though.
Corinne, I get
I get it. I
Jay.
get it. I get it. Man, I've been amening you this whole time.
Crazy.
You don't even understand.
So Jay, you can relate.
Once you finally let her speak.
Jay,
You know, B don't be letting her speak sometimes.
yeah, because sometimes
Thank you, B.
listen,
Let her
Jay.
speak. Now we get it.
No, Jay.
I got
Sometimes I'm able to coast over. You know, sometimes I'm able to just take it and absorb it and be like, all right, I'm not going to be affected. And then other times I'm like,
Like she's looking at my
that's
soul.
it. I'm not doing this
I
crap.
hear it. Yeah. And then guess what? See, but most time we coast. It's just those moments where you just can't take it no more.
Coast today.
And that's where the explosion comes from. I get it. I get it. It makes all the sense in the world.
Thank you so much.
Because y'all are both.
I just feel
A lot.
seen.
There's B's ways out.
I feel seen right now.
Nope. No, she get it.
Sis came.
She
Like,
told me.
appreciate it, sis.
She told me
I
we
feel
just need
seen.
to get through the show. We'll talk about it in the car.
Oh, them car
You
conversations,
already
huh?
know. You know, do we need to? Never
Listen,
mind.
man.
You know, but I have a question.
What's the question?
You know, being that we're talking about venting, I want to know, is there something that you feel like you can't talk to me about? I feel like we have an array of things
That's a good
that we
question.
can discuss.
Wow.
I think we talk about a lot. I feel like we can talk about anything, but I'm asking you,
That's a great question.
what is it that you feel like you can't vent to me about? Because I feel like, you know, you can talk to me about me and I can accept it. We've done that. We've been there. And I understand. And I try to correct on demand. Why? Because I just want to make sure you're good. But what is it that you feel like you just can't talk to me about?
Well, if I can't talk to you about it, why would I mention it right now?
Because we're just sharing. We're being open.
Well, I mention it to my sisters. I don't have nothing.
But that doesn't help.
Look, Jay.
So that'll be the
it's
female.
hard
That'll
for
be
me,
for the
so look.
female
So
show.
let me be clear. It's hard for me to come back from where we just went. You know that, right?
Well, B didn't
So
let us
let's
get it
be-
out.
Well, let's be clear.
So
He
B didn't
definitely
let
gave it
Wait,
a
B didn't
abrupt
let
stop.
us. Right, he didn't let us get it
I
out.
don't
babe.
have nothing to
So
say.
that's not my fault that you couldn't get it out.
Let us get it
That's
out.
B's fault.
Hey, and Jay did say, if she's not able to get it
Oh
out,
my God.
she is low. He gave it a hard
At
stop.
least listen.
Hey, man.
I'm not a floater.
You have a person to blame.
So ask
So
somebody
can we
else.
please come back?
No,
this is the
ask
question
somebody
I'm
else.
asking my wife.
Well, we good. I can talk to you about anything.
So I'll ask my wife
Yeah.
because we just came from a heated exchange, I guess.
Hopefully it goes a little better over there.
It's funny because Ant right now, I guess he feels like this is a show of redemption for him.
Absolutely. That's
Whoa,
what
You know what I'm
what are we
saying?
talking about here? I don't
it's okay.
No, so my love,
What?
you know what it is with us. You know how it go. Right? Nah, seriously. So Jay just asked an amazing question. So are there things that you feel like you can't share with me as far as just being a safe space and, you know?
I don't think so now.
Mhm.
In the past, yes,
Mhm.
lots. I think now, because of a lot of things that we've gone through, walked through, that I've walked through personally, emotionally, mentally, you know what I mean? Like, I now can't afford to not say what I need to say. Just because I think I've come from holding a lot. You know what I mean? So I don't like what it feels like for me, because now if I hold things, it shows up in me physically.
That's good.
So I can't not say it. So I feel like I can pretty much say what I need to say
Yeah.
That's
to
good.
you.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think because of your journey that you've come through, you know what I'm saying? And we talked about the journey a little bit on this show. I appreciate the fact that you call it stuff.
Yeah.
Like you say, you know, I can't stuff things down anymore.
Right.
And because you can't, I've seen you mature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because you've matured in that area, my appreciation level for your communication has risen. You know what I'm saying? Because the way you talk about things, the things you say, and I think even in your open communication, our marriage has become more intimate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can agree to that. Yeah.
So I appreciate your intimate communication.
Transparency.
Yeah, transparency.
Because you don't realize like the stuff that you may think will hurt your spouse or hurt, you know, like certain things. You're holding certain thinking that, dang, I don't want to say that. I don't want, you know what I mean? But then it's like when you actually do, and they're like, oh, all right, I accept that, you know, or all right, I can work on that, you know what I mean, and just vice versa, like in that way, it really does like bring you closer, like even though you think real, like it's gonna drive a wedge, because you're like, if I say this, it's going down, you know what I mean? But it doesn't.
Testing the limits of your
and I just from our journey, I think even in that the openness aspect and not being able to stuff anymore has changed all my relationships.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Like our relationship with him, with my children, with my parents, with my, you know what I'm saying, with my siblings, like everything, and just the honesty of being able to just say what it is you need to say, and not try to, you know, sugarcoat, or of course, you know, you're gonna make sure you package it, you know, a certain way, but I'm gonna say what I need to say.
I done heard her say things, and I'm like, man. Okay.
Yeah. That's called being free.
Freedom.
It's growing up. It's maturing in your marriage, you know. I would say for Constance, and, you know, I'll speak for myself.
You heard Amy.
Please do that.
I think we all felt it. We was all like, you'll say for Constance.
On behalf of your wife.
No. I
Don't do that.
Go ahead, brother.
So with Constance will let you know I'll overshare with her. I'm an open book. I don't hide nothing. I don't sugarcoat nothing. It's coming out, whether it's a beef between me and her or whether it's something that I'm feeling internally that I don't talk to anybody else about. She knows it. And I don't know what I would do without that. Because she's the bounce back that I get from it is always wisdom, it's always love, it's always non-judgmental, and it's always, sometimes it's not what I want to hear in that moment. Sometimes it's not what I want to hear in that moment, but after mulling it over and different things like that, it always comes back to a certain place. Now, one of the biggest things my dad taught me when I first got married, he said, it's not your business how she treats you. It's your business how you treat her. And, you know.
That's a big statement, bro.
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
That's a big statement.
Because in my head, when he first said, I'm like, that's a bunch of
But
bull.
I'm like, I feel like that's like a lifetime. That's a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
Just because we're like individuals, we're selfish in a lot of ways, and we're just like, no.
Yeah, you should saw my face when he first said it.
You're not gonna treat
It went in one ear. I was like, oh, yeah. Cool.
Doing that every day.
Crap. Are you kidding
Who
me?
wants to wake up think about it?
Yeah,
Who
like,
wants to do that?
The business how I treat her.
But listen, that is a real statement.
It is.
Because I found myself in my later years in marriage doing exactly that.
Yeah.
I don't focus on how she treats me. I try to make sure that whatever it is that we do it better every day. And that's just me and me going hard for her. So I think by dealing with you, it helps y'all relationship overall, because now she can deal with her.
Right.
Yeah.
She's seeing a reflection.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's a real
Wow.
powerful statement.
Do you feel like you can share anything with me?
I feel like I'm getting there.
Okay.
I feel like I'm getting there. I feel like I have evolved. I feel like I am growing up, like I am maturing, speaking in context to how we started. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still some grime that needs to be
Residue.
Yeah, that I need to release. So I'm like you said, testing the waters. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I'll say it and I'll be like, okay, let me see how this gonna go. You know, throw that out there. Let's see how he could take that. You know what I'm saying? Because before, I just wasn't able to. He didn't have the capacity to hear my truth.
Yeah, he couldn't
Absolutely
receive
not. Because his
It
was
would
too
always be a
heavy.
comeback.
You know what I'm saying? His was way too heavy, and for me to add on to what he already felt
Right.
was overwhelming.
I call
Yes.
that guilty conscience. It's like when you have a guilty conscience, you know you're doing something that's not right.
Yeah.
Every time somebody touches on it, it makes you want to
Yeah.
react to it.
Yeah.
Or
Because
like,
your conscience is
what do you
getting the
call it?
best of
Like
you.
come to bat or like
Right, you
defense.
gotta react.
defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
But once you don't have that, like you know, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm living. Now, what you say to me don't bother me as much.
Yes.
because I ain't got that on my conscience.
Yeah.
Right. And that's because he's grown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's in that space. It's just a matter of me kind of just growing in. And I know I've grown because all of our parents are like, "Oh, girl, you said that. I'm so proud
I've
of
heard some
you."
things.
You
Wow.
told him, girl,
Wow.
yes. And I'm like, yeah,
Listen,
I
Wow.
said that.
something
I
Cousin
said
just
that's
said.
how I feel.
I'm looking at my brother and I'm like, and him like, he ain't even reacting. Hey, back in the day, that joke, he had a little Joe Jackson up. He had that little Ike, that look. Like, he had that crazy look.
You gotta understand. I in my pre-pastoral
Right,
role,
most definitely.
I was
past.
a legit pimp.
Right.
Yeah, he man.
So when it came to
I was not the one being pimped.
no, she
No, of
definitely
course not.
wasn't.
No,
Let's
You
be
know the
clear.
fuck gonna eat that
Let's
up, boy.
let the record
Yes.
show I
And
was
then-
not the one being
No,
pimped.
let me
Not a
add
part
very,
of it.
very clear.
Mhm.
Let me define that. Okay,
Yes, sir.
I didn't even feel comfortable with the label pimp, so I called myself a manager of beauty.
Let's not go too deep.
All right,
Dave.
bro.
All
Let's
right.
not go too deep.
No, and what I mean by that is like I'm not. Oh, you better have my money. It was nothing like that.
Right.
It was that ain't me. That ain't never been me.
Right.
It was more of I have connections with people with money,
Yeah.
and they will spend to have arm candy and for favors.
Okay.
All right, we
Yeah,
can move on.
we're
Yeah,
good.
let's just leave that there, man, because that's a whole nother show, man. And I already see
When
the
I'm-
reactions.
When it came to my marriage, it's like you got that plus Godby Road plus Southside Atlanta. It's like
Yeah.
you don't take disrespect from anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bump just a female. I don't care if you 4 years old.
And you was
you
born
gonna
in
get
New
it like
York
a
and-
30-year-old man.
And your family is a very facetious and
They're very
sarcastic family.
facetious and very combative.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I come from a very combative family where people walk on eggshells to not say certain things because they're going to spaz out.
Right.
I was able to come down here and that got muffled very quickly because I come from a dark-skinned family,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when I come to Atlanta
Yeah.
and I'm bright-skinned like I am,
Yeah.
that attitude wasn't received well. So I had to realize, even though I come from a dark-skinned family, right? It's like Atlanta don't care nothing. You welcome to the red clay. And I had to learn that.
Yeah, man.
And once I did, it created a, like Brian always alludes to, you kill ants with hammers. So it wouldn't just-
Sledgehammers.
with sledgehammers. So it wouldn't be just my wife.
Yeah,
it would
man.
be anybody that's
Yeah,
trying
man.
to disrespect.
Yeah.
And she knows that.
Yes, I do.
She knows that.
Although I thought I was the exception. Ladies, don't ever, when he showed you,
Right.
believe him.
Believe him.
You're
Believe
not
him.
the
You're
exception.
Not the
Yeah.
exception.
And that's not the end of the story.
It's not, it's
you have
not.
to
No,
be,
no, yeah.
You got to be a ride or die to be able to go through the whole journey.
Yeah.
And what's
On
hap-
both sides.
On
We
both sides.
have to be ride or dies.
You both have to be there, and I
Yeah.
believe that's what we were because we wouldn't be able to get to where we are today.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so
Yeah.
the takeaway from all this is just growth,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
sticking it out,
Yeah,
fighting through the years,
Yeah.
because all of us started one way,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're a totally different way. I know sometimes it doesn't look that way,
Residue.
but we're happy.
It's going. You're going to continuously
Right. fight through
There
it.
are some things because you're still two people.
Yeah.
You're definitely still two
Like,
individuals.
Two human beings.
You're
Yeah.
two
Two
people
human beings.
trying to do this
Imperfect.
life as one.
That's right.
As one, quote unquote.
Yeah,
But
right.
do you understand the depth of that statement?
That's-
like
that statement
two
is like-
people trying to do life as one, quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
That's a
That's
lot.
not
And,
really a
and
thing.
the crazy part about life is you go through phases.
Right.
So who I was at 21, I wasn't at 25.
Exactly.
Who I was at 25, I wasn't at 30. Who I am at 30, I'm not at 40. So
And
It's-
you
it's
gotta
ever
always-
evolving.
Right.
It's
right.
ever
And you
evolving.
look back at the first and you're like,
That was me.
I did that?
Right.
But
Yeah.
now it's like, man. So even now, I feel like even Amy, and I told her that, I said, I feel like you're going through a new season.
Yeah.
Like she's
Mm.
evolving. And
Yeah.
I'm having to catch up
Yeah.
Wow.
with the season because I see it like, of course, the kids are getting older.
Yeah.
They're starting to move around.
Yeah.
And Amy's a outside person. She likes to be in the mix. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing she's not going to stop being who she is
Right.
just because I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
Right.
So now I got
Uh-huh.
to meet her somewhere in the middle
Yeah.
because at one point she'd be okay with me, or she'll be begging and pleading like, "Baby, come on." Now she's like, "All right, I'm gone."
Gone.
Yeah.
right.
And I'm like, "Hold on, now.
Whoa.
Let me get my coat. Hold on. Let me get my shoes on. Let me get my shoes. You know, so it's like, okay, I know that in order for me to evolve with her, I have to be willing to go where she's willing to go,
Yeah.
where she goes.
Yeah.
So that's just a part of the balance and a part of
Wow.
the communication piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
So with that, when it comes to what you allowing your spouse or allowing your person to communicate or to vent, I guess we're saying that as you grow, as you build your relationship, as you build your trust, you kind of learn those boundaries per se.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You learn. I said, as when it comes to your spouse or
Communication.
your person communicating
Outside
or
of
having to
relationship.
vent, we're saying the summary I'm gathering is that we're saying that as you grow together, you kind of learn each other's boundaries,
right.
or if you will, learning how to navigate between, understanding your person and what's too much and that type of thing. I very rarely will, you know what I'm saying, like go out and vent, but if I do, I know my husband enough to know, okay, this is what's safe to share.
Yep.
And this is what's off limits.
And
to
it's
share.
about trust.
Yeah.
As a couple, I don't have a problem with her venting because I trust her to know she's not going to reveal anything she knows I'm not comfortable with.
Right. And she's and we're not trying to make you look bad.
Right,
We love
right,
you.
that's
So
right.
it's like
Right.
I'm not trying to destroy you. I just want to
And that part.
gather a perspective.
That's a big part.
That part, and I'm gonna address it because I see it a lot with young couples. You gotta stop, and this is for male and female. Stop checking your female or your male or your significant other in front of people,
Oh man.
Yeah.
because what happens is, as for a man, and just speaking from a man's point of view, and then you guys can speak from the girl's point of view. From a man's point of view, for a real man, we're real men.
Right.
And that begins to chip away at who we are. Some can call it a pride thing. I don't really think it's a pride thing. I think it's a nature.
Respect.
I think it's a nature thing.
It is. It's
You know what
natural.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a natural thing.
Well,
it's like,
it's natural for some men, not all men. But
not
I get
all.
What you're saying, yeah.
Because some will be like, "Oh, I'm good."
So that I think that's a great point
Yeah.
that you're making, man. And even in that, Brian, make a note to pick it up from here. So, and did you finish your thought?
I forget.
So,
Oh my Lord.
all right, y'all, we about to wrap it up, man.
Okay.
And I, to the point of what Constance made, as far as, as we mature in our relationships, that trust thing is so important. Like, I have to trust not the fact that she'll protect me, I just have to trust the fact that when she needs to talk, she goes to people she trusts.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That part.
And
And she knows,
and that's it, man.
she knows how to discern what people.
Yeah,
are.
man.
Yeah.
Long as she puts it in her safe space, I have to trust her safe space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what if that safe space is, like I said, like in corporate or in business, it's you never vent down, you always vent like horizontally or up.
Yeah.
Someone on your level or up.
Yeah.
And she may think the person that she's venting to is on her level, but I may think the person she's venting to dumb as nails.
Well, I think it comes down to your trust in your wife and for your wife. Because as we mature, even the boundaries that I used to hold in place, like, yo, don't talk about that.
Right.
Don't say that. As we've matured, my boundaries have expanded.
And released.
Released.
You release certain
because
things. So what we may not be able to talk about then,
sir.
I'm comfortable talking about Constance. There were certain things that, like, we would do advisements with different couples and different things. And I would talk about something and she'd be like, you talking about that? I'm like, yeah. She was like, okay. And I'm like, I mean, I'm free from it.
Yes, sir.
So as time goes, you grow. I did want to come back because I want my wife personally to be able, because I know you said you're getting there and I don't want to rush it. But I do want to see what I can do to make that more of a smoother transition for you.
I don't think it's a matter of a smoother transition. I think what you're doing is great.
What am I doing?
Being consistent. Just allowing me to speak, respecting when I say something, not always responding not always reacting to what it is that I'm saying. You have been listening more, taking it in, evaluating, coming back, adjusting. So being consistent with that. Right now, I think we're in the season of just being consistent with that. And I think we had a conversation before where it's like, right now I need the consistency that I extended to you in your season of changes and adjustments. So now I'm in the season of just give me that same consistency. I'm growing, I'm maturing, I'm identifying, I'm finding out stuff about myself. I'm growing, you know what I mean? So just being consistent, I think is good. I don't have any other requests.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can we make love tonight?
Oh my gosh. This is so
Stop it.
So in closing,
thank you. Oh, God.
I think today has been very enlightening. Just on many levels of just communication. I think what we've displayed is communication comes in many ways, whether it's hostile, whether they get, heated and we got to get our point across, or whether it's, it's understanding and it's taking it in and it's being accountable and it's stepping away, coming back to it. I think that's what marriage is for real. Like in a nutshell, I feel like it's so important. And like I get like just this last point. I remember when my parents got divorced, I didn't see divorce coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that marked me. You know what I'm saying? Like as a child. And
how old were you?
I was 15.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was 15 when they got divorced, but I was old enough to
be scarred.
Wait a minute, hold on. So, okay, so I saw no arguments.
It feels like the older.
Okay, so I saw no community. I didn't know that there was turmoil. You know what I'm saying? Like that was shocking. You know what I mean? So that's why I say like the communication aspect, the arguing, the hostile, the trying to come to agreement, the agree to disagree. All of that is marriage, and all that should be. That's healthy.
That's
I would say it's healthy to be able to do that with love, with honor, with respect, of course, because you love each other, and I feel like, that's what marriage is.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
that's true.
And I think in this episode, what we've done is demonstrate levels of communication in relationship.
Period.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's it, man.
But we shouldn't have to always be the ugly.
You guys aren't.
You're not always the ugly.
So Constance was definitely the ugly during that pet peeve.
We were the ugly.
We've all been
Right,
in
we all
the
been
ugly.
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 Yeah, they had a little ugly spat today.
I had an articulate
Whatever.
communication.
Yeah.
Listen, man, that was
So yeah, man. So guys, listen, man. I think this episode was very dynamic. We talked about a lot, guys.
We did.
Thank you for tuning in.
y'all.
Thank you for being a part of this movement, man,
Thank you for following
and
us
helping
as well.
us grow, man, and being along for this journey, man. Family by Choice. Follow us on all streaming platforms, anywhere podcasts can be heard. Just check in with us, man.
Yeah,
Family
man.
by Choice. We out.
Board game on the way.
peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.